Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Lunch and Learn sponsored by the Do Space. My name is Julie, and I will be your facilitator this afternoon. I do have the chat open over here on another monitor, so if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you come up with a question, you have a question, think of something afterwards, my email address is jdnewspace@gmail.com. Feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to assist you via email if I possibly can. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to be looking at today, just a general overview, it's all about the Google Drive. Getting started with the Google Drive, creating Google Docs, sharing Google Docs, not only Google Docs, but Google Sheets, Google Slides, and looking at the Google Forms, some other things like that. I went ahead and I opened up my email. Sorry, I'm battling a little bit of a cold. So if I sound a little stuffed up, that's what's going on. So the Google Drive is a form of cloud computing. And you might be saying to yourself, well, what exactly is cloud computing? Cloud computing is, we've actually been cloud computing for years. We just haven't coined it that term, cloud computing, for as many years as we've been cloud computing. When you think about the number of years that you've had your email address, I mean, I've had an email address for almost 40 years now. So it's been quite some time. So when we've been cloud computing, those emails do not reside on our PC. They reside on a server somewhere in the world. So technically we have been cloud computing for years because they did not reside on our PC, and we could access our email anytime, anywhere, as long as we had a device and access to the internet. Years ago, that's the way that I backed stuff up. If something was important to me, I emailed it to myself so that I always had access to it. Now we have all of these cloud computing options, which opens up a whole new world for us. The Google Drive is just one of them. You also have the OneDrive, the iCloud. There's several different options, Dropbox, some things like that that you can look into. This is just one option, like I say. In order to obtain a Google Drive, you must have a Gmail account. Okay, and you can, with that Gmail account, you have up to 15 gigabytes of memory that where you can store pictures, documents, whether it's a Word file, a spreadsheet, a PowerPoint, a presentation, just anything that you can upload, a PDF, any file that you want to back up, you can back up on your Google Drive. So once you log into your email, this is what you're going to be looking for. You're going to come over here to the 9 dots to the Google Apps, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on that. And you have several different apps from within here, but you're looking for the Google Drive. Now, if you're home following along and you don't see the Google Drive, you might have to scroll down. And you can see that Google has a lot of different opportunities for you to go in and look at some of these. You can drag and drop these. So if you want something else, if your Google Drive might be down in row 3 and you want it in row 1, I can just very easily, maybe I want my contacts up in row 1, so I can drag and drop that up there. So you can drag and drop your drive up to the top, so it's easy for you to find. All right, so when you go into the Google Drive, this is what you're going to see. These are a lot of folders that I have backed up on my Google Drive. That's what you're seeing right here in the middle. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a tour of the Google Drive before we start doing some hands-on activities. So if I come over here to New and I click on New, it's going to allow me to create a new folder. So you have a file management system, just like you do on your PC or on your Macintosh. So you can create a new folder. You can upload files or you can upload folders. So if you have information that you want to back up or that you want to make sure that you can access from another location, this is a great opportunity for you to use the Google Drive. Then you have, it has some applications that you can use. It's got Google Docs, which is much like Microsoft Word. It's got Google Sheets, which is much like Microsoft Excel. You have Google Slides, which is very similar to PowerPoint. And you have Google Forms, which is the ability to send out a survey to folks. It can be anonymous, or you can record who has completed it. As they answer the questions, it will record them and give you the data analytics back. You also have more, where you can go in and you can do Google Drawings, Google Maps, Google Sites. If you're interested, and maybe you're interested in website design, but you don't have the opportunity, or you don't have the tools to do so, you can go in and you can create a website using Google Sites, and then you would share it out. So the general public would not see it, but once you publish it, you can share it with specific people, and I'll show you how to do that. You have Google Apps, you have the Google Jamboard. That's a lot of fun. We have graduation coming right around the corner. You can put together a Google Jamboard for your graduate and have people log on, leave little messages for them, pictures, whatever the case may be. That is the Google Jamboard. Oops, I had to move my Zoom bar, so let's go back up. And then there's more apps, but we've got plenty to look at here this afternoon. So those are, that's just kind of a review of the new. Down below that, you have your home button. So if I click on home, what that's going to do is just give me a list of all of the files that I have on this particular drive. And if then I can switch this around too. I've got files on there right now. I have files on there. I could look at just folders if I wanted to. I could look for specific people. I could look for specific lotions. I can also do that. Locations, I can also do that over here. I can view this in a couple of different ways. Right now, I'm in a list. I can come over here and I can click on the grid layout and view it that way. So it just kind of depends on what you prefer. So that's my home. If I go to my drive, it's going to give me all of my folders and then all the files that I just have saved. Many of these files are things that I have worked on in Lunch and Learns or some sort of training that can probably be removed from the Google Drive. And then you have computers. So if you want to, you can back up your PC. You can have it sync automatically, so you wouldn't need to go to new and do a file upload or a folder upload. You can sync that automatically. Things that are shared with you, so people can share items with you. If they're shared with you, they're going to be underneath here. Recent. So any document that I have recently accessed is going to be under here. Some really nice features, easy for me to find things that way. Anything that's important to you, you can star. So it looks like I've got video pictures. I've got those starred. You also have spam, which my spam box is empty. I have the trash bin, that's empty. And I have my storage, which you can see that I'm using 3.89 gigabytes out of the 15 gigabytes used. Now, when you're trying to figure out or decide which cloud computing application you would like to use, keep in mind that the Google Drive gives you 15 gigabytes for free. That's a lot of free space. And you get 15 gigabytes for every Gmail account that you have. So I have three, well, I've got more than three, but I've got three personal Gmail accounts that I have created, and I have 15 gigabytes for each one. Now, the one thing that you want to keep in mind is that the Google Drives do not talk to one another. So if you want, let's say if I want the technology in the workplace, that zip drive, if I want that to be on my JD DoSpace and a couple of my personal accounts, I would have to upload that to each one of them. If you're an Apple user, you might be used to having your Apple phone and your iPad and they all go up to the iCloud to one spot. This doesn't work that way, so keep that in mind. Other cloud computing applications give you 5, 7.5, somewhere in there. So 15 is a really good deal. If you need more storage, if you click right here, get more storage, it will show you what you can get for your money. So right here, you've got the 15 gigabytes, which is free. And then you could go from 100 gigabytes to 200 gigabytes to 2 terabytes. So that's a lot of space. So that it tells you what you can get here for that. Right now they have a special going on. You've got 49 cents a month for 3 months, and then $2 for after that for each month. For the 200 gigabytes, 75 cents for 3 months, and then $3 for the remainder. It looks like you could go to annual and get a little bit of a discount as well. So if you know that that's something that you're going to want to be using throughout the year, not just for a short period of time, you're probably better off getting the annual. So that saves you 16%. So that's where you would go in and take a look if you do need more storage. And I don't need to upgrade, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to close this window. Now, the other thing that it shows you, sorry, I'm not going to close this window quite yet, is where I have all my stuff stored. So I've got everything is just about everything is in my Google Drive. I've got some in email, and I don't have any in photos. So we'll go ahead and close this up. I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. And let's go ahead and look at some of the other options. I don't know, clean up space was something new. I haven't seen this before. Let's see what's going on here. Huh, how interesting. Okay. Clean up spam. I've got spam emails. Let's take a look at those. Okay, so I don't need that, so I can delete that. And I'm going to delete that permanently. That's kind of cool. That must be a new feature. I have not seen that yet. So I learned something new as well. I'm going to go ahead and go back. And we'll go back to the manager. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and close this up. Something I can look at later. Okay, so over on the right-hand side, I have my Google account. So I have my managed the Google account here. I can change my profile picture here. I'm just going to click on manage your Google account. And we'll show you a few things that it has in here. So you've got home, you have personal information that you can put in, date and privacy, passwords, security, and so on. So that's a little bit of about what you've got on your Google account. All right, let's go back and let's get our hands dirty. Let's see what we've got going on here. If I go to new, let's say that I want a new folder. So I'm just going to create a new folder just for today. So today is March 8th, 2024. And I'm just going to click on create. Now let's see where that goes to. There it is right there. There's my folder. So now I'm going to go to new, and I'm going to tell it that I want to upload a file to my Google Drive. So how do I do that? So here are my DoSpace presentations. And what I can do is, let's just say that I want my address book to be backed up. So I can select the address book, or I can select multiple items and have them all come up at the same time. And I can just click on open. And what it's going to do is right down here in the lower right, you can see that it says 3 uploads complete. I've got a little check mark there next to them. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh my page. Let's see, where did those go to? Are they all the way down at the bottom? I'm going to change this to a list, so it's a little bit easier for me to find. Welcome if you're just joining us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to say date modified, and I want the last modified by me. Well, let's do this. I uploaded spreadsheet, so let's change the spreadsheet. Oh, I see what I'm putting. Oh, there's my address book. Okay. What would that be? Oh, it's comma separated. Okay. So there's one that I just uploaded, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the three dots, and I am going to organize this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move it. And when I go in and move it, I'm going to move it into my March 8th. So I'm just going to move that folder, or that file, excuse me, not the folder. So it says the address book example has been moved to the March 8th. So let's go ahead and close this up. Let's go back to our March 8th. And there's my March 8th. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And there's my address book. So I uploaded some files. I uploaded 3 files. I moved one of them into the folder that I just created. If you want to upload an entire folder, you can certainly do so. If there's a lot of stuff that you want to upload, I would suggest that you put them all into one folder. Maybe it's going to take a while, but you know what? That's fine. You can go in and you can select them, and then you can just walk away from your computer for a while, and they will all upload at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look for. I'm going to select my DoSpace presentations, which there's a lot of folders in here. So I'm just going to tell it that I want to upload this. And it says it has 348 files that it's going to add to the site. So let's go ahead and upload that. That will take a little bit of time. So let's move on and show you some other items. So that was underneath new. So I did a new folder. I did a file upload. I did a folder upload. Now, if I go into Google Docs, I'm just going to click. I can select a blank document, or I can select from a template. I'm just going to go ahead and open up a blank document. And we're going to look around here. So when I open up my blank document, the first thing that you want to do when you open a blank document is to come up to where it says blank document. Come up to where it says untitled document. And I'm just going to go ahead and name this. And I'm just going to say that this is my March. Whoops, it's not March 9th yet. Well, it's not March 89th either. March 8th example. So I have that named, and you can see that as I save that, it is updating in real time. So that's one of the beautiful things about using cloud computing and the Google Drive, is that you don't have to worry about saving. As long as you are hooked up to the internet, it's going to save in real time. So as I type, you can see that it says that it's saving and it's saved to drive. So I don't have to worry about a thing. I just keep on working and it saves automatically for me. As you're looking around on this screen, you're probably thinking, boy, it kind of looks like Microsoft Word. Underneath File, what you can do is you can, once you're done with this, you can download this to Microsoft Word. And we'll do that here in just a little bit. But there's lots of different things that you can do from within the document. You can create a new document if you want to. You can open an existing document. You can make a copy of it. Now, why would you want to make a copy of it? Several times, if I have an agenda for a class or a meeting, and I have it in Google Docs. Maybe I want to take a specific meeting agenda, and I want the same layout, some of the same things are going to be on there, so I can make a copy, redate it, or rename it, whatever I would like to, and then I can reuse that material. So it's kind of like your Christmas letter. If you send out a Christmas letter every year, maybe you just do, you did 2023. So when you go to do 2024, you're going to open it. You're going to do a save as, open it as December 2024. And then, you can use that template, so to speak, and just move on from there. So that will allow you to make a copy. You can share this. Now, what is that all about? This is so cool, folks. This is why cloud computing is so awesome. Because you can share with other people. So when I come over here and I tell it that I want to share with other people, it's going to come up, it's going to say, okay, who do you want to share it with? Now, if you want to work along with me, you can put your email address in the chat, and I'd be happy to share this with you. I'm just going to put in a friend of mine who knows to be expecting some emails. I'm not sure if she's in her email right now. Okay, come on. What's going on here? There we go. Thought maybe the batteries in my keyboard had gone out on me. Okay, so I'm gonna save this with a friend of mine. And what's gonna happen is when I share this, I'm gonna type in the names of the people. You can have multiple people in the document if you want to. And then after you put in the people that you want to share this with, you can come over and you can say, okay, can this person edit the document? In other words, can they add to it? Can they manipulate it? If you want that to happen, leave it on editor. If you want them just to view it, maybe you have a small business that you're running and you've got some specials going on, then you just want to share this out with your customers that you have in your contacts. You can have them just be viewers to open it. If you want them to be able to comment on it. So in other words, if you want them to maybe critique something that you've done, you can use commenter. I'm going to leave this as editor. I do want to check mark in notify people because what's going to happen is I'm going to come down here to message and I'm going to type in a message, and this is going to send as an email when I am done. Okay, so I've decided whether that person can be an editor, a commenter, or a viewer. I have put a little message in there. What's going to happen is it's going to send an email to my friend, and it's also going to have a link in there to this document. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on send. There it goes. Boom, it's gone. Okay, so I just sent that out, and the people that you send it to will be receiving an email. And what's going to happen is if she happens to be in her email, then if she does come into the document, you will see her profile picture or her initial right up here. And if you've got several people that you have shared access with, they might overlay. Now, if I share this with more than one person that can edit the document, what it's going to do is it's going to assign each person a specific cursor color. All right. So my cursor will be a specific color. It's probably blue. And then Pat might be purple. Somebody else might be green or brown or yellow or red, blue, whatever the case may be. Every person will have a different color. And that's on purpose so that you know who is typing what if you're actually monitoring the document. But don't worry, you don't have to monitor the document because Google Docs also has a version history. It's recording everything that we're doing. Every time that somebody makes an edit, it makes a list of that. And if you've been working on something for a year, it will go all the way back to a year. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. Let's go back up to file and down to share. You can also publish on the web if you want to. Before I go on though, let's have a little conversation about why would I want to share. So as a professional educator, I do presentations with people from all over the globe. So if we are preparing for a presentation, we'll create a Google slide deck, and I can work on my slides, they can work on their slides, then we can download it as a PowerPoint, or we can use it in Google Slides, either way, and we can share out our information with people that way. So you can have multiple people working on one document at the same time, making edits to it. So that's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of technology. You can also email this file to people. You can email the collaborators. You can email the draft of something. Like I said, you can download it. I mentioned Microsoft Word, but you can also download it as an open document, as a rich text, a PDF, a plain text, a web page, and an EPUB if you need to. You can rename it. You can move it. So let's click on move for a second. Oh, that's all the stuff that I just uploaded. So it's already in my March 8th. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on cancel. Okay, so I moved it. I can add it as a shortcut to my drive if I want to. I can move it to the trash, but we don't want to do that. We can go in and see the version history. Remember when I said we could see the version history? We're gonna come over here and click on see version history. And we're not gonna have a whole lot right now because I'm the only one in the document. But as changes are made, it's just going to make a list here. And it says, okay, like I made a change at 12:30. Or 12:23, excuse me, and then again at 12:30. If I come back out and type in again and go back to file and to version history and to see version history, oh, it didn't give me a third one. Oh, that's because I hadn't typed anything at 12:30. Okay. Well, we'll do it again and we'll come back here in just a minute. Now, the one thing that you want to remember is if something happens and you need to revert back to an earlier version of the document, the only person that that can do that is the owner. So in this case, I own this document. So if somebody were to inadvertently delete something and they didn't do a Control-Z to undo it, you would want to get a hold of the document owner or the person that developed it so that they could make a change. Okay, so I just put one more thing in. So let's go to version history again and see if we've got a third one. Nope, still not gonna give it to me. Okay. But being impatient, there has to be some time lapse in between. So if I go back up, let's see what else we have. Version history, make available offline. I don't want to do that. Details, languages. If you want to switch this to another language, you certainly can. You've got your page set up and you can print. So underneath edit, that's where you have your undo, your redo, your cut, your copy, your paste. So it works the same as the on a PC. It's just that you're working in the cloud. Underneath view, I'm showing my ruler. I've got an outline. If I don't want that, maybe I don't want the outline. I can take the outline off. If I don't want the ruler on, I can turn the ruler off. So you can determine what you would like to see and what you don't want to see underneath view. Underneath insert, I always like to say this is where all the action happens. You can insert an image. Now this is cool because you can upload one from the computer. So if I go to upload one from my PC, it's going to open it just like I am browsing. Let's see, where do I have a picture? don't know where. I'll have to have one more. No, I don't. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, so we'll just take the pups and bring them up so we can insert from our PC. So it will access from our PC. But there's more fun to be had. If I go back to insert into image, I can insert, I can do a search on the web. I don't even have to go anywhere. I'm right here. I can do a Google search. So let's say that we're looking for the do space, Omaha, Nebraska. Huh. Let's try this. Let's try to load it. Huh. Well, now they're not at 72nd Dodge for the time being. They will be moving back though. Currently they're at Abraham's Library in West Omaha. I'll be darned. I can't find a picture of the new space. Very interesting. Why would that be? I'm gonna try one more time. There we go. I didn't capitalize it. I thought that was being awfully. Okay, so there's my picture of the new place. Whew. That was scared me a little bit. All right, so I can do a Google search from right from within. Don't have to go anywhere. I can access from my drive. So all of those folders that I just showed you, and they'll show me. I don't have to go back out and get the picture. Here's all kinds of pictures that are in my Google Drive. So we can just grab one of these and say, okay, let's say insert. So there's another picture. Where else can I get pictures from? Let's go to insert again. There's more options from photos. So those are my photos in my drive. The drive and the photos are kind of the same thing. From a URL, if you know where a picture is on the internet, you can copy and paste in the URL and go get it that way. If I wasn't using my camera right now, I could use my camera. I could take a picture of myself. No good at taking selfies, by the way. And it would upload. So those are all of the images, just a lot of super fun. You can insert tables if you want. You can go to drawings. You can insert charts if you would like. Lines, emojis. I know people are big emoji fans. I'm not a huge emoji fan. Every once in a while, we'll do a little smiley face. So let's just go for the smiley face here. And there's my emoji for the day, just a happy face. If we go back to insert the emojis, you got smart chips. So let's go to people. Oh, okay. So I'll just use myself. I guess I've never really used that. That's just inserting an email address. Smart chips, drop down. So this will give you different options. Again, where's the project status? We don't need that in there. Let's see what else we've got here. Special characters, you've got watermarks, you've got headers and footers, page numbers, page breaks, comments, emoji reactions. Underneath format, you've got text. So I'm not going to go over each one of these, but you can see that there are a lot of tools that are very similar to Microsoft Word. You've got some extensions, and then you've got your ruler down here where you can go in and utilize those options. Okay, doesn't look like Patricia's going to join me. So I'm just going to come back over to file. I'm going to go to download. I'm going to download this as a Microsoft Word document. Now, when it downloads, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on open. And I think it's going to go to another. It did. I'm just going to pull it over here for you. Now, the one thing you need to remember when you're going to download is that they are not talking to each other, and this is not saving automatically, okay? All right, so I typed in there, this is Bailey and Blue, but when I go back, I'm gonna minimize. Now, this is Microsoft Word, keep in mind. I'm gonna minimize this. When I go back to my document, it does not, those two are no longer talking to each other. So the sentence that I typed in that said Bailey and Blue, that is not going to be acknowledged in this document. And if I type it down below, whoops. This is not going to transfer to the other document, so they're not talking to one another at this point and at this point. Okay. So I'm still working in the drive. We're still saving. I'm this version history is bothering me, so I'm going to go back to one more time to see if I. Nope, it's not going to do it. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back because we've got other things to show you, folks. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And here are my due space. See, that's not even done uploading yet. It's still working on it. We're almost there though, 418 out of 421. So let's go back to new, and we're going to come over and we're going to go to Google Sheets. So if you're a spreadsheet user, this is the software package that you may want to use. You have Google Sheets, and I'll just do a short demonstration here. Does a lot of the same things that Excel does. If I type in Friday, and then grab my fill handle, it'll fill those down, it'll fill it across. It knows the months of the year. So if I come down here and I type in March, I keep forgetting that it's March. I don't know why, but I don't like winter. So I can't believe that I'm still thinking like it's like February, or the other day I even wrote November, and I don't know whether I was going to last November or this November. I haven't messed up on the 2024 yet though. So that'll insert the months of the year if you want to. Does calculations similar. I'm just going to put in a couple of numbers here. When I do that, I can just type in equal sum and grab my sum function, tell it that I want to add these two together. Oops, I don't want B3, I want B4. Let's edit that, and there we have it. So very similar to Microsoft Excel. Once again, you can go to File and you can download this to Microsoft Excel. I went over many of the tools in Microsoft Word, so I won't do that in all of the applications. I want to show you, I'm just going to say March 8th. And then I'm going to tell it to move. Where do I want it to move to? Oh, it's okay. Move to March 8th. Maybe it's in March 8th. It must be. So we can't move it because it's already there. All right, we'll go ahead and cancel. I must have been in the March 8th folder when I started this. That's what it is. So let me go ahead and close this. And let's just go up a level. So here's my drive. And here's my March 8th folder. So because I had that open when I created those two documents, it automatically saved in there. So let's go up a level. I'm just going to come up. I can click on the back arrow, or I can click on my drive. And I'm going to go to new, and I'm going to go to Google Slides this time. So in Google Slides, it probably looks a lot like PowerPoint to you already. They've got some really cool themes that are not in Microsoft PowerPoint. So guess what you can do? You can select the theme you want to use, and then I can go to File and download to Microsoft PowerPoint, and I've got that background that I can use. So let's come up and rename this one to March 8th. Now, when I click outside of that, it's going to save that. It's saved. I'm going to just click on, excuse me. Excuse me. So when I go to move this, I can tell it that I want to move it into March 8th and then click on move and it will move it into the March 8th folder for me. Now I just downloaded that. So let me go to my downloads. Where did my downloads go? Quick ID for me. Collections, favorites. Okay. We'll go about this another way. Let me find it. Sorry, I'm looking away from you. I'm just looking for my downloads over here on another monitor. Oh, come on. Downloads. They're hiding from me naturally. There it is. Okay, so there it is, and now I'm in PowerPoint. That's all I wanted to show you. Took a while to get there though, didn't it? So, oops. Where did I go? There we go. So that's your Google Slides. You know, you can add slides, delete slides, change themes, everything that you can do in PowerPoint. And keep in mind, you can share these. The Google Slides, the Google Sheets, you can share those with other people too. This was the one that I was talking about that I use so frequently with other people, and we build our presentations. And I like to download them as PowerPoint. You don't necessarily have to do that though. What are some of the other options that you have? You got Google Forms. Let's look at Google Forms for a minute. So underneath Google Forms, this is really cool. What you can do is you can create a form. So I'm just going to say that this is my example. And you can come down here and you can insert questions. Did you learn something? See how it's being predictive? New today, question mark. So right below that, it's reading the question, it's saying, okay, what do you want to do? I want to add yes, and I want to add no, and I want to add an extra. Let's see, what else do I want to add? I don't want to add that. So yes or no. So we got multiple choice questions. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add another question down below that. That was multiple choice. You can have a short answer. What did you learn today? You can have a short answer. There's a lot more to this. I'm just going to put one together real quick. Choose your other type, so here we go. Have you ever used, and for our first option, I'm going to say Google Sheets. And I'm going to go down, sorry, my Zoom toolbar's in my way, there we go. Add another. Here. Oh, there we go. Google Slides. Google Forms. Google Docs. Okay, so you can add pictures, you can change the theme if you want to. You can add images at the top, you can do all kinds of different things. But this is something that you want to go in and play around with. As a matter of fact, we haven't had this lunch and learn in quite some time. And this could be a lunch and learn all by itself. So something that I will keep in mind for upcoming presentations. Then once you think you're done, what I would suggest that you do is you can come up and you can customize the theme. So maybe you don't want, maybe you want a picture. we'll just take the jelly beans. I think that's what those are. They look Eastery anyway. And then, you know, your specific colors. Oh, I wish I would love more vibrant colors for me. No, maybe we could add. We add different colors. There we go. We don't want blue. We want something. There we go. That looks okay. You can determine, you know, your fonts and your sizes, some different things like that. We'll leave the theme like that. Looks pretty good. Now, if I click on preview, it's going to show me what my survey is going to look like when the recipients receive it. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to come over here. Oops, I broke my own rule and I did not save that. We'll just save it as example. Now let's send it. Let's see what this looks like when we send it. So if I go to send it, I'm going to put in my email address, just my jdnewspace@gmail.com. Collect email addresses, that's up to you. You can if you want to. If this is an anonymous, you don't want to collect them. It might not be anonymous though, you never know. And I'm just going to come in and include form and email. No, I want them to click on a link. I'm just going to click on send. We'll go back to my inbox and that should be there. There we go. It came in really quick. Let's go in to my email and I'm going to tell it that I want to fill out the form. I'm ready to go. Did you learn something new today? Yes. What did you learn? How to use the Google Drive picture. Okay, then have you ever used? I'm just gonna say, yeah, I've used all of these. I'm gonna click on submit. Now, when I come over to my example, look what I've got up here underneath responses. I've got my response. And like I said, it keeps your data analytics for you. So this is a pie chart. It said, yes, here's my compilation of what I learned. And here's the number of people that have used this. So if I send this out to multiple people, it would tell me how many responses and give me bar charts and pie charts, if applicable, for those particular items. Okay, we are just about to the top of the hour. So I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, but I want to make sure I want to make sure that I'm leaving time for folks to ask questions. So I'm going to pull the chat and over here on top of there. Oops, looks like I started to type something. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and just remind you of my email again, even though you probably have seen it before. If you don't have any questions right now, but you think of something in the future, feel free to email me at jdnewspace@gmail.com. I think the snow is finally stopped. And it looks like it's still a little windy out there, though, as I look out my office window. So, all right, as always, big shout out to the Dew Space for everything that they do for the greater Omaha community and beyond. So make sure that you're going in and looking at the calendar. Lots of great things. As a matter of fact, I've got something that I'm attending today myself. So not only do I enjoy facilitating, but I enjoy attending events at the Dew Space and being a lifelong learner. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon and a great weekend, and I hope that you join me for another Lunch and Learn soon. Thanks, everybody.